Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And it's an honor for us, for Kore, to be able to have the opportunity to spend some time with you today. And I think that I'll spend a few minutes sharing a little bit of my own personal experience in AI, which is really, of course, very closely linked to Kore. And then I'll talk a little bit about what I've seen over the years and where I believe that we're headed. And then I'll turn it over to some others. It's been an interesting journey. We started Kore about 11 years ago, actually a little bit over 11 years ago. And candidly, for the first 5 years, it was all just exploration and innovation teams exploring what conversational AI might be. And back then, there was no confidence that the technology would work. There was no confidence that people would use it. There was no confidence that there would be any business value. And so, as I said, about the first 5 years, it was really just working with innovation teams to see what this new chatbot thing and capability might be. And so after that, though, there began to be some real production budgets, because there started to be some evidence that people were using chatbots, but they were very scripted. There was no AI in it at all. It was all rules-based and very prescribed conversation trees, right? But during that period of time, Kore continued to really invest in the platform, what I'm going to call the orchestration layer. So not just in having a conversation tree, but being able to integrate with a host of backend systems, but then also, very importantly, provide all the tooling and the observation ability. Can't quite work out that word. And all of the capabilities that are needed for large-scale deployments, and in particular in regulated industries. And then we added more and more capabilities around not just the machine learning, but then other capabilities around being able to bring your own NLP and et cetera. So what we developed over the years was conversational AI, but a very robust orchestration capability in terms of orchestrating in microservices and connections to backend systems, and all the tooling necessary to manage a large-scale deployment that might have dozens and dozens of various conversational bots, plus then an orchestration capability at the front end to be able to surface those bots through some 40 or 50 different channels, including digital and voice. So what we ended up having, and now this brings me up to about, I'm going to say 3 years ago, maybe. What we had was the industry's largest conversational AI deployments, where we had customers doing 200 and 300 million of interactions through a conversational AI system that was very robust, but still limited by what I'm going to call traditional NLP. And so deep neural networks and NLP and et cetera. So we had this very elaborate and robust system, but still limitations around the sort of the free conversation flow. Even though we had very large deployments in voice, where people would call into the contact center and be speaking to a virtual assistant, still is kind of scripted, right? And then finally, about 3 years ago, I'll say, then the LLMs and generative AI came onto the scene. Well, because we had already orchestrated this very sophisticated orchestration engine, both orchestrating back-end systems and front-end channels, it was very simple for us to be able to then plug in LLMs, whether it be commercial LLMs or small language models or other capabilities. It was very easy for us to plug those in and then be able to surface all the capabilities of generative AI. Now, we added into the platform capabilities around tuning, around guardrails, and et cetera. So we were very quickly able to then fully leverage and safely leverage the LLMs in generative AI. Oh, and then just as soon as we got done with that, then came agentic, right? And now, again, with agentic, because of the flexibility of the platform and being a true orchestration platform, it has been very simple for us to be able to take advantage of agentic, roll that into the platform, and fully support and fully expose the capabilities of agentic. Now, the interesting thing is our customers in their journey, we have customers who started with us, let's say 5 years ago or 6 years ago, or even maybe a little bit longer. And now we're taking those customers through a transition from going from a sort of scripted, pre-scripted user experience into generative AI, now into agentic. And now about 100% of our new implementations are fully 100% agentic. And oh, by the way, we have built out and continuing to build out a full observability layer around agentic, because of course, now the issue is you're going to have hundreds and maybe thousands of agents that are acting within your ecosystem that have to be observed, reported, controlled, all those things. And so Kore has put in a lot of capabilities, and I think Cobus is probably going to talk about this, but others will talk about this today. Kore has put in lots of capabilities to manage and control and report on the activity and the actions of all those agentic agents. So where is all this going to go? We used to be conversational AI. Now we're AI. Now we're agentic. And we're agentic for the entire enterprise. It used to be that we were primarily focused on customer service. Well, we certainly still about 75% of our revenues come from customer service deployments. But where we're headed with this is that we now have basically 3 different solutions. I'm just seeing this, showing down, they're up here. So AI for work, which is a full solution set for employee use. So employee productivity, fundamentally that is a whole bunch of connectors, like over 100 different pre-built connectors to various backend systems. RAG technology, a very advanced, by the way, RAG technology to be able to find the hidden information in your enterprise and being able to easily surface that for your employees. And we also have AI for service, which is sort of the traditional customer service, or it could be, by the way, employee service. So things like IT help desk or HR, et cetera. But AI for service, and then AI for process, which is the agentic process flows, where you can have multi-step, multi-process, all implemented with agentic agents. So where we're headed now is being able to have fully 100% either human in the loop or autonomous agents working throughout your enterprise, whether it be customer service or for employee productivity, or even full back-end, think of it as RPA processes, but now fully agentic, tied in where RPA processes used to be sort of islands themselves. Now all this is tied in the support of AI for service and AI for work, okay? So I think I took longer than I was supposed to take, but I've been at the company for 11 years. I got a bit of a story, but anyway, so I really appreciate everybody. Again, thank you for being here. I'd love to be able to meet as many of you as possible. I'll be kind of mingling around and wandering around a little bit. I am here all day today, and for those of you who maybe we can get together tomorrow, I'm available for that too. But thank you, everybody, and again, thank you for being here.
All right. Thank you so much, David, for that inspiring president of marketing at Kore.ai. He'll be sharing this video. Makes his way up.
Thank you. Thank you, Manila. And thank you, David, for setting a very long context. Now you have given me more pressure. I was supposed to speak 45 minutes. I had to squeeze it to 10 minutes. So bear with me on that one. Thank you. No, I was just kidding. While I was getting here, this is the first time I'm in Manila, and this is a beautiful country. I mean, at least so far, whatever I've seen, it feels very homely, just like India. I don't know how many of you have been to India, but that's also a very beautiful country. So I'm not missing out anything. Pretty exciting stuff here that I'm observing in just last couple of days. But I was talking to Fifi this morning, and I just thought, why should I not connect with you in the language that you like, right? So if I butcher the language, please pardon me, right? So I'm going to try and say this. Magadan Umaga Manila.
Okay.
I got it, right? Thank you.
I'm so glad I didn't teach you the bad language. I'm so glad I didn't teach you the bad language.
Yes, no, she was great. And she did ask this question, but let me try from my side as well. Nak al musal na ba kayo? Good. That means that you guys had really good breakfast, right? I also learned that in Philippine culture, we back in India, we are very big in tea. Chai, heard of chai word? Right? It's masala chai, masala tea. We are very big in that one. But I've heard that in Philippines culture, along with breakfast, you mostly have coffee, right? That's the kind of culture that we have. But, what I'm going with this is, with good breakfast, good coffee that you may have, in the last couple of years, what's probably, the most talked about term that you have heard? AI, absolutely. Any other word that pops up very quickly? How about this? Right? The word has literally disrupted every corner of the world. Now, this is ChatGPT, but ChatGPT, of course, we all have used it and we know everything, right? It changed the way we work today, the way we find the information, the way we ask questions, the way we learn, right? A lot of things have changed. This is just a picture from one of the tea stall back in Hyderabad, where our office is. And you can see, right, people are becoming very creative. These are genuine marketeers, right? You can see the GPT word, GPT acronym is now genuinely pure tea. How cool is that, right? Or how hot is that? And then AI is also transformed into enhanced with adrak and elaichi. What it means is, adrak means ginger, elaichi means cardamom, right? So back in India, we use these ingredients to make it masala tea, right? Masala chai. Anyway, so the bottom of the story here is that we are living in a very, very, very fast-paced world. Let me ask you, right, how the transformation has happened in the last 2 years. We've seen that things that could, used to take specialized skills, maybe army of people, maybe army of experts to produce a movie, to perform a research, or conduct a research, or analyze big documents, come up with storylines. It used to be huge, 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 monumental work. But today, we all are seeing that some of these very complex things are becoming so easy. My 7-year-old niece literally create a poem and send it to her brothers and sisters. 7-year-old, and they're using ChatGPT. They are, this generation is born with ChatGPT in their hand, probably, right? That's kind of a transformation that we are seeing, and it is just democratizing the AI, at least in the consumer world, right? Consumer world is completely upside down. Anything that we used to ask to Google, right? See, about 20 years ago, when my career began, probably, right, 1998, Google just started. And, we did not ask these questions to Google back then. But over a period of time, the habit changed. Everything you ask to Google. But in the last 2 years, what has happened? Everything we are asking to answer engines, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, isn't it? Has that transformation happened? Are you observing this? Right. So, how many of you have used any of these tools? Grok, Kore.ai, ChatGPT, Gemini. Are you using? Yeah, you're using it, right? It's day in, day out. It's a stupid question, actually. I shouldn't have asked this. But nevertheless, let me get into more business context now. All of you are AI leaders, influencers, decision makers. Have you seen this transformation in your organization? Is there a context changing where things are moving from enough of experiments, we need ROI? Show me the money. Is it happening? Right? Show me ROI. That's exactly what we'll be talking about. That's what exactly we'll be leading our conversation to. Where to find the right cases. What are the right ways to look at the technology? Where to invest your time, effort, and resources to build the future-proof organization, right? So my entire team here would be going through all these, and then we have also a lot of speakers, experts here who will be sharing their wisdom, their experiences as well, right from Philippines here. So what we have seen is, of course, 23 was ChatGPT, 24 was a lot more experimentation. We are moving into moving from experimentation to ROI thing, right? What I really wanted to show you, oops, sorry, I'm just going too fast here. The bottom graph here, there are two graphs, right? One is indicator, which is the first one, and as your hands, right? All of us are using ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, Gemini, day in, day out, right? So the consumer world has evolved. Enterprises are picking up. And next 2 years, that is this year, next year, we will see a huge adoption in every sector, every function within the businesses, right? In fact, that almost 95% organizations will have integrated, with generative AI technology in day-to-day operations, up from 15%, which is today. That's a huge growth over there. That means there is a huge investment going on, there is huge R&D going on, and there is a huge commitment from the leadership as well, right? We recently did one research. We do that regularly. Every year we do that to do the pulse check of the market. We'll be publishing that report in 2 weeks from now. In fact, Philippines is one of the countries that we also seek the inputs from, and we'll be publishing that report as well. But very evidently, it is clear that most organizations are increasing their investments into AI projects, and they're looking for prominent use cases, so which we'll talk about today. So as we move forward, and there is a lot of curiosity, there is a lot of hype around it, but there are more questions than answers, and we all will try to figure out these answers, right, along the way. Not necessarily today we have all the answers. The picture could be a lot more foggy, but we will get there soon, right? Because the pace at which the technology is moving, the pace at which the innovations are happening, is helping us to uncover the things that we don't know today, right? So when people are investing into AI project, let me ask you a very important question. What's a typical your way or thinking? What do you think AI automation or AI intelligence is bringing to your organization? Why are you investing? Why do you think organizations are investing into AI projects? Sorry? Cost? Okay. Efficiency? Yes. What else? Productivity? Yes, of course. I'm expecting one more answer, actually. Sorry? Experience? Yes, it is there. So all of these answers are absolutely perfect. But there is one thing that this technology is bringing at unprecedented way. Sorry? Savings is also there, but let me show you and let me see if you nod. Of course, there are many researchers that, whatever you talked about, labor costs, productivity, all of these definitely are there. But there is one element together is bringing growth and speed of business. How many of you agree that AI can bring the speed of business? right? Absolutely. And we have numerous examples. As I said, like something that used to take people months and weeks of research, you can do that thing just, ziffy. So there are numerous use cases. My CEO to one of the largest banks that is our customer for last 6-7 years, and they are having a conversation, and the CIO over there said that when they asked, what can we do with this AI technology, the Gen AI technology, and they source inputs from various departments and various people within the organization, they received 3,000 use cases. 3,000. That's huge, right? People are getting so creative about how they can use AI today, right? Of course, somebody will have to take a stick and figure out, okay, I can't implement all 3,000. What are those 30 use cases that I can implement, which will give me that best ROI, which will give me that confidence, which will give me the money to invest more? And those are the things, right? You can see content generation, research, coding, workflow automation. There are so many things that we can do which are low-hanging fruit and high-impact fruits today. See, AI agents are going to be everywhere. Every task, every function, every sector, every unit. AI agents are going to be there. They are going to think for you. They are going to plan for you. They are going to reason for you. They are going to act on behalf of you, right? And that's the future that we are entering into. A lot of research is going on around this. But what we see is you need to apply your creativity, your enterprise's knowledge, your experience, your maturity to figure out where to embed AI. There are 3 areas which David already talked about, so I'm not going to spend time on this, but it's high time that we need to reimagine our workplace. The day-to-day tasks that we do, can I embed AI in that one? One of the coolest example is enterprise search, right? Today, many research out there, it talks about that employees 7% of their time in just finding the information that exists within the organization or recreating that information. Think about it. You do enterprise search with Gen AI powered technology, and it gives you the answer, right? No more searching hundreds of documents, hundreds of links, and all that, right? Today, Gemini does that thing for us on Google. So Google has changed their search engine as well. Imagining customer service to enhance customer interaction, getting more personalized, getting more efficient, fast, all of those things that you just talked about. Reimagining your business processes, whether you are talking about account opening, whether you are talking about digital KYC, whether you are talking about claims processing, whether you are talking about returning the item or the purchased products, applying discounts, credit card disputes. All these business workflows can be tomorrow can be made more efficient, as you said already. So there is a way to reimagine everything. AI will be, the largest workforce in every organization in next 5 to 7 years. You agree? Yeah, I see a lot of nods there. So, there is a lot of discussion, debate is going on that AI is going to replace jobs and, replace people and this and that, yada, yada, yada. Okay? Whatever is the case, at core, we are reimagining things. See, the way we look at things is that your organization is going to build AI agents from various different technologies. Providers like Kore.ai, then providers like hyperscalers, providers like CCaaS or, the current existing products that you have, the SaaS vendors that you have, they are coming up with AI agents. Your own R&D teams are going to use open source technologies to build AI agents and all of that, right? Because there are so many models are coming out there. They're getting better at their latency. They're getting better at their cost. They're getting better at their hallucination. Everywhere, the maturity is improving day by day. So where this is heading? This is heading towards some kind of a chaos, right? There are going to be mixed AI agents, mixed technologies, a lot of uncooked or pre-cooked or matured agents over there. But end of the day, somebody will have to manage all of this, right? So managing your AI army will require what? They need to have identity. They need to have a purpose. They need to figure out, how do I talk to each other? How do I discover? How do I find so that I can build a workflow that helps me run my business workflow? Right? All of this is going to happen in next time, and they will have their roles and permissions to what to access, what not to access, how to respond, how not to respond. All of those guardrails and permissions will be there, and then still you will need something. Can anybody guess what you will need with all this chaos? How do you manage this chaos? What are you going to need? You're going to need something that will eventually orchestrate all of this. So this is how Kore is imagining future of enterprises. This is how we imagine that AI will be in every function within your organization, but the humans will be at the top, right? And thousands of AI agents will be at the bottom working for you guys, right? And you will need something to manage, something to orchestrate this army of AI agents efficiently, right? So that you achieve the speed of business, so that you achieve the cost saving, so that you achieve the efficiency that you need, so that you achieve the productivity for employees that you expected for. And to make that happen, you need an operating system. That's where Kore.ai's vision is, that we envision to be your operating system for all your AI agents, your agentic workflows. My team is here to talk more about it, and we have booths and demos and all of that planned for you. But very quickly to introduce who Kore.ai is. How many of you have heard about Kore.ai before? Some of you, not a lot of you, right? So that's a great opportunity that we are here. And you all came on this beautiful morning to learn more about Kore.ai and AI in general. We are not a new company. We are 11 years in this space. We are an AI first born company. When conversational AI or AI was not that mature, we started back then in 2013, 2014. And over a period of time, we started working with very large enterprises like, Citibank, Deutsche Bank, PNCs, Ubers of the world, which threw very complex use cases at us. They also had a very high expectations in terms of security, compliance, scale, all of those things that matter to large enterprises. And we've been deploying these innovations year after year. We are today 1,000 plus global workforce, data scientists, AI leaders. We have a global partner ecosystem of 500 plus partners. Very importantly, I don't have a slide here, but earlier this year, just about 4 or 5 months ago, we did announce a strategic partnership with 2 big companies, Microsoft and AWS. So we are now deeply integrated into their product ecosystem. Amazon Bedrock, Amazon Q, Amazon Connect, Microsoft D365, AI Foundry, all of that, right? Copilot. So we are co-building, creating things, co-enabling and co-selling. So we are big into now hyperscalers as well. We process over 10 billion interactions per year. Actually, the scale is massive. Just at Citibank, we process more than 400 million calls per year. At CVS Pharmacy, we process more than 700 million calls per year. eBay, more than 53 million customer interactions per year. So those are the kind of companies that we work with. So you can imagine the scale at which we operate and why these companies are with us year after year, right? Last but not the least is, don't take just our word, but there are third-party analyst companies, Gartner, Forrester, IDC, ISG, Everest. You pick up any report, any companies, any report, you will find Kore.ai in the top right corner there as a leader. So, and we're doing this for last 5 years consistently recognized leader that requires innovation DNA, which our company has, right? So we have more 42 patents filed, 17 of them are granted. So we are a very forward-looking company, consistently delivering in market, working with largest enterprises in the world, fulfilling the promises and them. I thank you so much for your time, the interactions, and a warm welcome that you did for all of us. Thank you so much. I look forward to having a lot more interaction with you. My team is here, and rest of the day is going to unfold a lot of great things to all. Thank you so much, Manila.